both of us, we are from Poland.
Dzień
And
dobry.
yes, Dzień dobry. And I'm excited to talk with her today about how to sell and serve with heart. So today's topic about selling and serving with heart with one of the experts in this field. And before Hello, and welcome to our today's Win X Today interview with the amazing woman and powerhouse Ania Krol. I will pronounce it in a Polish way, so everybody who's from Poland can go with it, because both of us, we are from Poland.
Dzień
And
dobry.
yes, Dzień dobry. And I'm excited to talk with her today about how to sell and serve with heart. So today's topic about selling and serving with heart with one of the experts in this field. And before I will continue babbling and sharing my questions, Ania, would you be so kind and introduce yourself to the community, to the audience?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited to connect with you and your audience. My name is Ania Krol, more internationally Krol. And I'm a freelance coach. I help freelancers and solopreneurs in basically setting up businesses and making more money online. This is what I do in the nutshell.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being our guest here today. And I can't wait to talk with you about, first of all, of course, where you are at the moment, how you feel, because we are currently, whenever you're going to watch this, we are in a global pandemic at the moment. So the two of us are stuck, locked down, consciously chosen where we are though. So where are you at the moment, and how is the situation over there for you, Ania?
Sure. I'm in actually very, very beautiful place called Playa del Carmen, which is next to Cancun. It's in the Mexico. And so we are in the lockdown, and basically we can't go out too much except going to the pharmacy or doing some groceries. But the rules are quite strict, at least here in this region. And so since 1.5 months, I haven't gone anywhere than to Walmart or other supermarket. It's quite different lifestyle that I have right now comparing to my normal lifestyle, which is traveler, digital nomad, full-time lifestyle. So yeah, interesting times we are in, that's for sure.
And since when have you been a digital nomad or a full-time traveler? And where are you from, actually, from Poland? Maybe this would be interesting for our audience to hear as well.
Sure. So I'm from Krakow, in the south part of Poland, second biggest city, beautiful medieval city, quite touristy, but always worth to see it. Better in the summer than in winter, that's for sure. And I started to travel full time in the end of 2018. So, well, 1.5 years ago, I started to do it. I went to the Nomad Cruise, my first Nomad Cruise that I know that Sylvia attended as well. And I got inspired by nomads, digital nomads who were doing this lifestyle for some time, and just they encouraged me to say, why not trying? You know, I've never thought that this constant traveling would be for me, although I was working online already. But I thought, like, well, I can be anywhere I want, but I really don't need to travel that often, because maybe it will impact my work style or, you know, work dynamic. So I didn't think that it was for me. But they told me it's possible, and I tried, and here I am.
And you are now basically an expert on how to serve and sell online because of becoming a digital nomad.
Yeah, well, this is a part of it. So since I became a digital nomad, I started to travel for a few months, and I got some time off from my work. Before that, I was working as a marketing freelancer. But during that time, I took yeah, as I said, some time to reflect, and I decided that it's about time for me to start serving people in a way of coaching them or mentoring them on how to get jobs online, how to be on your own as a freelancer, as a business owner, and if you want, do this digital nomad lifestyle. If not, just be free to live anywhere you want and work with whoever you want. In a nutshell, yes.
This is basically, I didn't even know that the Nomad Cruise was one of your beginnings, because for me, I have been traveling by myself for over 2 years before I kind of joined any of those communities to connect, to see what actually you figure out that there are some other people out there living kind of the similar lifestyle what I do. So this is interesting to see that this is basically sparkling some of the new directions for people. And this is, maybe we're going to see each other next time on one of the Nomad Cruises. We will see when the next one will happen due to this current pandemic. And yes, we talked before the interview that both of us, we are free spirits. Right now, basically exactly the opposite, because we have to stay at home. We are very limited when it comes to be free. So lots of habits and lots of routines and self-discipline and self-leadership required in order to make the best out of this time. And before I will dive into selling, I would love to start with the online surfing. So what do you think, especially for those who might have to right now either pivot and transition from the offline world, small businesses, maybe solo entrepreneurs, transition from the offline world into the online world and start to sell online? What do you think? How would be the easiest way to start to surf online in order to create an audience?
So I think right now, because of the current situation with the pandemic, there are many different opinions, but my own opinion is that, especially right now, it's still a little bit slower for everyone. People are still like assessing what is going on. So it's a calm time, yeah? So in this calm time, I would, if I were a person who is thinking to go online or start freelancing or starting have their own business, to start to do their own market research. I think this is the first thing everybody should start with before jumping in with the business idea, because this is one of the main problems, I would say challenges of new solopreneurs or online business owners, is that they have an idea in their head, but they don't test it. And then it appears that although you create a product, an offer, and then nobody really needs it. Yeah, and now is the problem, because how to sell something that nobody finds useful? So the first thing I would do is to do a market research, and it doesn't have to be, people sometimes think that market research is it's time consuming or it's expensive and only corporations do that. Not at all. Market research, is based on some kind of hypothesis that you are saying, okay, this is what I think that people have problem with, and this is how I want to solve it with. And now let's ask several people, maybe 15, 20 people over the phone call, over the online survey, what do they think about it? Yeah, what do they think about the transformation you are going to offer as a coach, consultant, or with your product or offer? What do they think about the pricing? What do they think about the setup and organizational, well, how you're going to deliver that? Ask people these questions. And this is what I did before I went in a full-time coaching industry. My own business coach told me, like, before anything else, please ask people if they want it. Yeah, because it would be a shame that you put so much energy into that, and then it appeared that the pricing might not be great, or people don't understand you. And this is as well another thing, is that try to come up with the offer or something that you want to serve so that people understand it. Yeah, and this message online is very, very important to be clear for everyone. Yeah, so all in all, I'm just saying that just test your idea, yeah, as soon as possible before you jump in to selling it.
Thank you so much for sharing. And when it comes, then this is the next point about selling. I remember many people telling me, okay, at the moment, I just don't think and don't know if it's actually a right or good time to start or to sell anything online. What is your opinion about that?
To start it right now, you mean like this month in this situation, or?
generally, just selling during this pandemic, during any kind of time of trouble. What is your opinion about that if someone's maybe now hesitant in order to sell something online?
No, I would say if you have a product or an offer that is well thought and you feel that you can help people with that, I would start selling right away, regardless of anything. Yeah, because this is what people usually tend to do, is that, oh, let's wait it. Yeah, let's wait until the best moment will come. And we don't know when will it come and what will be the best moment and if it will be a better situation. You know, you don't know that. We don't know the future. There are some predictions. There might be some gurus or influencers telling you that, but really we don't know. Yeah. So what I would do, if you know what you want to do, just start now, as soon as possible. Yeah. If you feel good about your product, your offer, what you want to, deliver, now is the moment.
And when it comes to selling and serving with heart, what do you think is currently the best way to show up online, in a sense that it will first of all be of service for others, but also helpful for your business?
Well, of course, depends what you do. Yeah, I usually work with people who are service providers. So they provide some kind of service, and very often their time and expertise, it's different than selling products or having like e-commerce. So talking about this sector, you need to start showing up. And this is a decision that you need to make and be 100% in. So if you are serving others as a consultant, as a healer, as a coach, as an expert, you need to understand that from now on, you are all in. Yeah. So it's not like you are going to show the message, hey, buy from me this once in a while, but there's everything that you built around it. You're going to sell, meaning you're going to tell people to buy something from you. In the same time, you need to know that you should support anybody who's asking you some questions. So you need to be helpful during that period as well. Yeah. Selling with the heart, it means that you are showing up consistently for your targeted audience. Yeah. So you are there on social media, and of course, in a healthy way, in a way that you've chosen to do. And I'm not saying to be there, 24 hours, because it's not healthy. And if you're not healthy, you're not serving. But you need to have some kind of plan, a simple plan or strategy really in your head, so that you can implement this from day to another day, from week to week, from month to month. Be patient and just be there. People will ask you questions. You never know when this person who is asking you some question is going to ask for your service in a couple of months. Yeah. So this is what my coach told me, and this is what I'm doing, is being, serving people all the time. Whenever I can, whenever I'm available, whenever I want, I am there to help people really to understand how to start their business, how to grow their business. And selling with the heart is just being there for them. Yeah. And always trying to make yourself as a go-to person, as a trustworthy person. Yeah. I can ask Ania, like, hey, Ania, can you recommend me quickly one website where I can do this? So of course I can give this information for free. Yeah. Some maybe other people might say like, well, this information is so valuable, I will not, I will charge something. I will be like, of course not. I want this person to get as close as possible to their goals at any point.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's actually super interesting. And when it comes to sharing content online, what is, I think this is probably one of the first things what people think as well when they are starting out. Do I share? How much should I share? What should I share online in order to serve with heart and be basically not only with the aspect of I want to sell people something, but of course I want to help them exactly like you've just mentioned where they are at the moment?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say always that whenever you are going to show something online, yeah, your content expertise, you are already serving. Yeah, so you need to be grateful for that, and you need to really acknowledge yourself for that. This is already a lot. And here you actually need to think about yourself and your boundaries and limits. Yeah, that's why it's good to have some kind of content strategy when you say, okay, I'm focusing on 3 or 4 things connected with what I'm selling, and focusing on that and telling this information. And as it depends how much you want to share with people, it really depends on you. Yeah, I would say that you need to test it. If you're just starting, you just need to go there and try things, because I can tell you from my perspective, but I can advise you from my perspective as well, but you need to go there and test it, because maybe you will do something that I will advise you and you would say, Ania, this is just not connected with my personality. I don't like it. I don't like to hang out on Facebook group because just I don't feel great there, yeah? So we are going to discuss, what is the platform of your preference? Like, where do you like to hang out? Yeah, because this is as well very important to see, not only where is our potential client hanging out, because this is crucial, you should be in the similar platforms to get them, but as well, what kind of ways of expressing yourself, meaning creating content, sharing content, is connected to you, to your personality, yeah? Because as you are trying to help others as a coach, consultant, solopreneur, expert, healer, you need to be authentic, because if you're trying to, pretend to be somebody else, after a few months, you're going to be super exhausted and you would like to quit. We can't really pretend too long to be somebody that we are not, yeah? That's why you need to choose and test platforms that you like the most. And of course, develop your way of sharing content. It's not something that we are born with. It's something that we are practicing, yeah? So as I say, go there, test it, get inspiration. And, tomorrow is another day. And with social media, the good thing I would say is that it's quite dynamic. So if you, didn't do something today, tomorrow is another day. If you didn't like your content from yesterday, tomorrow is another day. Yeah. So you can constantly recreate yourself each time.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. And the next thought, what just came up, is that I am here stuck, locked down, and the only mic that I have is exactly this here. So basically, if someone is just listening to the podcast, I'm just showing you that I have a basic headset for this podcast, and my Yeti mic is not with me. All my gear is literally not with me, because I was running some workshops in UK, was supposed to be there for 1.5 weeks, and then kind of go back to collect all my stuff. So I left only with a hand luggage. And a friend of mine shared with me a few weeks ago, Start Ugly. There is a book called Start Ugly. It resonated so deeply with me. Yes, it resonated so deeply with me, because what you've just shared is that you can overdo. There is basically the time to create online is passing by like nothing. So especially when you are starting out, and or when you start to create something, or if you want to do a product online, you can get actually into kind of like a spiral to do this, that, here and there, and maybe check out the font, maybe the color, maybe the picture. And I think all of us were guilty of that at some point or another one. So my next question is, when we are talking about starting ugly, especially for the perfectionists out there, and I can hear many right now like, oh, but our is beautiful and blah blah blah. What is your opinion about how to create it and how to get actually started when it comes to the beauty of the things what you are creating?
Yeah, so this is another, I would say, second biggest challenge of new business owners, online business owners, is this perfectionism. Yeah, because we want to be perceived as a professionals, and we are afraid to be judged by people that something is missing, something is not clear, something is not beautiful. And it's our number one procrastinator. And we are just like, going to this excuse that something is not perfect. And because of this, many often we don't start at all. Yeah. And we are just like quitting the idea. And that's why really people are hiring coaches or consultants to tell them what to do, to tell them, okay, you have a deadline 1 week and, you just need to launch this website, if you want it or not, I'm telling you. And people pay us for that, to tell them, to keep them accountable. And your website will never be ready. You will be finding every week something, What you need to do is just to, create a skeleton of how it should look like, your face, your picture, what you do, your address, social media accounts where you want people to reach you, and that's enough. And then when you have more time meaning when you finally maybe start to get your clients, because this is a number one thing on having a business, is to getting paid for what you sell. Now you will get additional money. Maybe you can just outsource this and ask somebody to help you with this website. Or maybe you will have more time because you will have more money to spend on your website. Yeah. So that is important. That's these little details, like how my logo looks like, how my content feels like. These things are not really representing wholly your business. You need to start doing them step by step in order to start reaching to your potential clients, because that's the most difficult thing, yeah, to start to be recognized, to start to feel some kind of traction. And you need to focus, in my opinion, most importantly on that. Of course, in the same time, I'm not going to neglect branding, because this is important as well. However, you know, little branding, little information about yourself, it's completely fine. And you can do things lean, you can do things incrementally, yeah? Step by step, month by month, you're adding up things and you're building something, yeah? And that's why, I like your question about sales, and that's why I replied, if you know what you want to do, start now with sales and reaching to people, yeah? And tell them how you can help them, and ask them for their feedback if they understand, so that your message is clear. This is the very important, especially using social media, yeah? Our message needs to be clear, because if it's not, then people will not understand what you do, meaning they would never want to talk to you, because I don't know what she wants, I don't know what she serves. This is what you need to focus on most importantly, yeah? And other things are important, however, they are just, as I said, very often an excuse to not to start reaching to people and talk to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree, and I was guilty of that as well. Of course, in the past, the countless times, you would not believe this. So no matter who is currently listening to us, we are not alone on this journey. And especially when you have any kind of services, I believe that at the moment, many people out there are sitting in front of their laptop looking for people who are resonating with them in a real and authentic way, to reach out and to actually get some accountability, like you've just mentioned, in order to get started and to do something that is basically not only meaningful for them, but also fulfilling for the clients.
Of course, completely agree.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ania. I love it. I could actually talk like countless of hours, because I know what you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of knowledge, but just at the end, to wrap it up, when you could share with someone talking about how to sell and serve with heart, what would be your final statement to those who are right now listening and wondering, okay, should I sell, should I share, should I do this, then and that? What to focus on when you think about to sell and serve with heart?
First of all, selling is a skill. So the more you practice, the more you're going to get better at it, the more you're going to discover your way of selling it, and your offer. And of course, if you want to sell with the heart, you need to think about other people, not as a product, as a people who are just paying you money, but really as somebody that you want to help, yeah, that somebody that is like your friend, yeah. If you are going to see people as yourself, and you really going to open up and tell them how you really want to help them, and obviously I assume that you're going to do it honestly, then it's going to be super easy. So treat people as you treat yourself. Talk to them, network with them, ask them how they are. This is the thing about social selling, that it's very important in terms of selling your services. Don't try to squeeze your offer like in a very direct way and very aggressive way, because people will not do it. Probably me and you, we are experiencing, all the time on LinkedIn, when people are just, we don't know them, and they send us 10 links to their freebies and everything, and I'm like, excuse me, I don't know you. Like, why would I even spend 2 minutes seeing this? Yeah. So connect with people. That's the most important. Connect with people, know them, and be certain that they want to work with you. This is another thing as well. Yeah. Don't try to trick people into your service if you feel that this person is not ready, because then it's not this person's going to suffer, but you as well. Yeah. So if you will spend some time with people, especially as coaches, when it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 months to work with a person, you want to be sure that this person is ready to work with you. Yeah, and that's completely fine. Not everybody is ready, and we need to accept that, because there are plenty other people waiting for us to be approached. So good luck with finding them.
Thank you so much for sharing. And at the end, my last closing question, what was because we are here in the Win X today, and the last question is, what was one of your biggest wins within your entrepreneurial journey?
I would say quite big one, which is a growth mindset, like that I'm building at the moment. Yeah, it's work in progress. It's not something that is finished, but growth mindset meaning that I don't have to know everything in order to start, and not everybody is meant to as well buy from me, work from me. Work with me, and yeah, and that's completely okay, and I am work in progress, and I accept that, and I feel good with that, and I'm happy, that tomorrow I'm going to learn something else, I'm going to fail in something, and I'm going to build something. That's the most important thing I learned.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. It's basically exactly what I believe that every entrepreneur or leader has to have, a growth mindset. There is, from my point of view, no other way in order to survive on a global market changing on a daily basis.
Completely agree with you. And this roller coaster, it is a part of having your business, and we need to accept it, and how our mind is reacting to it, it's going to impact our success. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your time and being my guest. Beyond grateful, and I wish you all the best. And at the end, where can people find you the best? I believe actually on any platform, as far as I know. I'm gonna share the links in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and of course I have my website that you can share just below. So I am really, really responsive and reachable. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was insightful, informative, or inspiring. I would love to hear your number one takeaway. Come on over to winx.today and share it in the comments below. You can also provide any kind of question around remote work solutions, business and leadership growth, as well as holistic HR topics. I look forward to provide an aid to your queue. Stay tuned, winner, and don't forget, we can win X today.